What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Good morning. This is WOTPod back at it again, starring your host, Jalid, Nobucks J, Curtis, Technar, and EliteVoice, Gary. Gary, thank you for being on this podcast, bro. I've been watching you for a long time. Everybody's been watching you for a long time. You're one of like the best people on social media for the automotive industry and the funniest. So right off the bat, like, kind of explain how you even got started. Like, what made you say it is okay to film a skit kind of trash talking the automotive industry, picking little pieces out? And what's your...
Man, first of all, thank y'all for inviting me. Thank you for the love and everything. It means a lot to me. Man, I started it all started with one video, and that was who's ever been there from the beginning. It's my Asian partner. His name is Theo, or he goes by on Instagram T4R Theo. I posted a clip of him talking trash to a parts guy, and they were going back and forth. And then I posted another clip, like a part two, and then there's like this saying goes where you know, what's the point of calling you guys a parts department if you don't got no parts? You're just a department, right? That's what he said. So, and then it just, from then on, it just started going up. And then we just started doing funny skits, comedy skits of things that we went through. And then we just didn't stop.
Yeah, I remember that because I even remember the part where he ended up where you said goodbye to him on your Instagram. He ended up leaving that dealership that y'all were both in. And then I was like, oh, is he gonna stop? Like, because that was your main man, but like you kept on going, and you still going, and you've even meshed a couple of like a different type of style videos, no longer like skits and stuff. But you've been doing great, man. I've been on for a while, but like, yeah, it's pretty good. Like, thank God for real, because I seen you also have that in your bio and stuff. So
Oh yeah, always, always thank God, man. Without God, I wouldn't be here at all, man. It's definitely a blessing. But yeah, man, it got to a point where like I was nervous, I was scared, and I was like, yeah, that's my duo, that's my dog. Like he's leaving, and then he told me he was like, bro, the grind doesn't stop. Like you got to keep going. Like we started this, and you just got to keep going, and I just had to keep going, man. So yeah.
Yeah, you guys came a long way. I mean, you're doing your own thing. He's doing his own thing now. I mean, and it's a testament that you don't even need to have you don't even have background in most of your videos. Most of your videos are that green screen shop environment, and it's like you are the man. You are the funny guy. You don't need nothing behind you. You're the main attraction.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, a lot of the green screen stuff. I found a random like shop Google image, and I was just like, man, I'm gonna just use this as a background. And that was it.
that's
So Way of the Technician podcast, we talk a lot about the technicians and stuff like that. And I know you're an advisor yourself. So don't want to, what are some things, you obviously, made your Instagram and stuff off of the communication and making fun of all the departments, not just one or the other. So what are some things that you see from your point of view that technicians, the communication wise, where some of that communication, what are some things that you're seeing good from the guys in your shop, and what are some things that maybe we could work on a little bit? Because I know the last thing techs want to hear is that the techs are the problem and ASMs are killing it. So
Yeah,
just a
yeah.
little inside view, you know what I mean?
I mean, like I've been in the business for a minute, right? Like 10, 11 years, right? So I've seen it all. I've seen it all comes down to I would say like good versus, I don't want to say bad, but maybe like mediocre technician. Like I mean, in where I'm at right now, boy, I got some fire techs. I mean, like I'm talking about, I got some hungry hitters, and I mean like dope technicians too. Like so, good communication, good story. Like they'll call, like all the techs have my number, of course. So it's just like they'll call me and let me know, like, hey, this is what's going on. Da da da. I see you have this go time. Like, okay, I may need more time. I may need an extra hour. Hey, can you get more information from the customer? Like, just treating it when the technician is treating it and caring for the customer just as much as you are being just enough, or not just enough, excuse me, just as much as an advocate, just like the advisor is being, you know what I'm saying? Because we could be nagging, but we're only nagging because, you know, we got the client or customer like, hey, what's going on? Such and such, right? So, oh, and good, oh my gosh, I'm good MPIs, bro. Whoo, we got some crazy good MPIs, right? And from the mainline tech. So I do this thing now where, like, if I have an oil change that's like a high mile oil change, or like an older vehicle, let's say like 18, 19, it doesn't go to quick service. It goes to the main line, right? Because I'm trying to take care of them and they know what to look for. So it's, you know, it got, that's a lot of the good and pluses, like a lot of the good stuff. Um,
That's big thinking. I appreciate when my advisors do that for us, where there's a ticket, like a big, like a ticket with potential, or a ticket with extended warranty and something like that. And like, hey, send that into the main shop. You know, worst case scenario, you get oil change. Best case scenario, you got like a, you know, 10 hour ticket or something.
exactly. Exactly. Um, things like to work on, like, I mean, where I would say at other jobs or other things that I've saw, it's either, you know, not communicating with me, letting me know like anything that's going on, or letting me know that you needed more time, or something that wasn't going to be done on time. You know what I'm saying? And kind of just like, or and just leaving, just clocking out for the day, and just like, bro, what's going on? Like, you know, but I don't really have that much of a problem here as I did like in the past or at other shops, you know.
So you said you've been in 10 years, which I actually didn't know that. I kind of skipped over that, you know, jumping into the juicy stuff. Can you give us a, like a little bit, like a rundown, you know, maybe not including the dealership names, but maybe some of the brands, and, you know, just walk us a little bit through the history of Elite Voice, and not just the platform, but you.
Okay. I mean, I'll try to I'll try not to go super long, but I started out as a porter for a group called Momentum Nissan. And if you guys look up Momentum Nissan, the owner of that group went on the run because he was doing some shady stuff and whatnot. I can't even remember if they caught him or not. That is a crazy story. That is probably gonna be my next video. That whole there was like Momentum, Nissan, and a couple other stores that were all like part of Momentum, and they were on the um Parkway, like it was the Auto Mall Parkway. So when that guy like went on the run and all that other stuff, all of those places got shut down, all of them. And I mean, there was people, salesmen, technicians, all that stuff. They weren't getting their last check. It was wild. Like, that's how bad it was. But I started there as a porter. There was a crazy GM guy who was doing some wild stuff, and I needed to get out of there. So I had a friend. She was a really cool person. She went and she interviewed at a Subaru dealer, and she when she interviewed there, she told the manager like, "Hey, I come as a package deal. Like, you got to interview my friend as well." So I went over there. You know, just I put on a dress shirt, slacks, shoes, whatever, and I went and I interviewed. What I interviewed for was either a porter or a lube tech. And I guess the guy liked the way I carried myself, and he was like, "You ever think about becoming an advisor?" And like my heart dropped, and I was like, "Yes, like why not?" Because I knew what kind of money they made, and I just had my first child and all this stuff. So I'm like, "Man, I need to hop on this." And I'm like, "Definitely." He hired me on as an advisor, and that was my first advisor job at Subaru, and I did that for 3.5 years. I even left that job and came back to it. But yeah, that was crazy. And I remember when the first day that I started, their loop tech walked out, like quit. So he was like, "Hey, I remember you said you wanted to be a loop tech. You think you can change the oil for the first 2 weeks?" I'm like, "Yeah, I can." I'm over here lying, y'all. Like, I'm over here lying. So I go back to my boys that same day I finished the interview. I go back to my boys and I'm like, "Yo, they want me to start changing oil, and everybody's looking at me like, dude, you were just washing cars. And I asked them, I'm like, yo, so what do I need? And they were like, bro, you're gonna be good. All you need is a 14 and a 17 and a torque wrench. That's it. I'm like, all right, bet. So the first 2 weeks I changed oil. I'm not gonna lie, my first car, um, I left the oil filter loose, and I didn't have it racked correctly. Cause bro, racking cars be hard when you just starting. So like I didn't have it lined up. And I'm like, man, I gotta move this car. Boy, I started that car, oil everywhere. I'm like, oh my gosh, they gonna fire
We've all
me.
done it, bro. I still do it sometimes.
Like, bro, they about to fire me. But yeah, so yeah, man, I changed oil for 2 weeks at Subaru, and then I went into being an advisor. And then when I left there, I went to Hyundai, then I went to Ford, then I went back to Subaru and Chevy because it was a Subaru Chevy dealer. So I worked for Chevy. It was the same owner. Then Subaru again, same owner. And then from there, I got hired on at Chevy Cadillac GM in a different city, and that's where I was at for 5 years until I moved to Texas from Cali. So
A journey.
yeah,
Now
yeah,
you're
crazy
at
journey.
an Audi store.
Yep, the four rings.
Are you liking it over there?
I love it. I love it. It's different. It's definitely different. Um, it's still like I've been here. My 1 year anniversary was at the end of September. So yeah, and it still amazes me. The clientele, the people that you help and you deal with, and the money, and it's a big game changer. Like it's a trip.
And what are some things? Okay, so that brings up the thing is you talk about like a game changer. What are some of the biggest things you notice between Subaru and Chevy and now Audi? Like what are some good things that you notice, not just about the customers, but about the way that the brand carries itself?
The brand, so I would say this like and unbiased as possible. Subaru is still one of my favorite brands, and that goes to I'm over here stuttering. Not only because of the brand itself, but because of the corporate. Subaru corporate is probably one of the best corporates I've ever worked for. Killing off Ford, killing off Chevy. You know what I'm saying? Like they really care about the customer. They got special things because like Subaru clientele, like they love animals, dogs, and all that. So they got badges, they got this, they got events where you go and you like you can bike or hike and run, and bro, it's really truly amazing. Like and like certain things like to help out the clientele or the clients, like things have probably changed by then, but they gave a large amount of goodwill. Like it was so good that especially for loyal customers, that the DSM and Subaru would contact our store and be like, you guys aren't using goodwill enough. We're giving you this amount I'm serious, we're giving you this amount of money. It was first 1,500, then they upped it to 2 grand, like for anything that goes out of warranty within 10 years or 100,000 miles. They're like, you guys aren't using it enough. We're giving you free money to help out your loyal customers if they need it. You know what I'm saying? It was, bro. So yeah, Subaru was great. Audi's definitely good. Um, and it's I think as like a luxury brand, like it's hard to compare because this is the first like luxury like Cadillac, okay, is luxury, but like German, like I see Audi up there with like Mercedes and BMW. So it's hard for me to compare like with them, but so far Audi's great, you know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
Yeah.
Um.
Jay, you got some?
Nah, yeah, I was gonna like kind of go into like how has it differed from like something like because it's Cadillac, and that's also luxurious. But what's like the biggest difference? Like their hiring process, like of who you work for, or kind of just how service advisor programs, like technician programs, how has it differed so much to where you feel such a big change of between luxury like manufacturers?
That's a good question. Definitely programs, bro. Audi sent me to Atlanta, bro. I went to Atlanta to go for, you know what I'm saying, brand training. You know what I'm saying? Like Cadillac ain't doing that. They didn't do that for me. Like you do, you know what I'm saying? You do your modules and you pass and then whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like that's why I was like, whoa. And then not only that, I've went to other trainings, like because we have a headquarters, I guess, and where you train. So I went to training there like twice or three times. Like when I worked for Chevy GM Caddy for 5 years, I didn't go anywhere for training. Even when I was working at Subaru, they would send you to trainings. Nothing for that. Not only that, as far as technicians get sent to training. Um, Here at this store, and of all the stores that I've worked for, they move technicians up. There's room for growth. They're paying for their classes and to go to a different state to get their training so they can move up and master guild and all that stuff, however the ranks go. Um but they're really on it, so and I know everywhere is different, but that just from my personal experience, that's what I've experienced.
Shoot, and if you don't care, like enlighten us on this, like room for growth. How do you see yourself in that own space? Because you've been in the automotive industry for like 10, 11 years. Where do you see like room for growth in the futuristic manner and as well as presently? If you don't mind sharing.
That's also a good question. I mean, right now, since I've only been here a year, right now my feet are planted, and I'm just trying to dig deep and do the best I can, the most I can here. As far as room for growth, I I don't know what's next. Technically, I'm not sure. Um, I know if I probably push for it and ask, there may be something, but right now I'm honestly not too sure. As far as me, and then like future, uh, I have a lot of plans and a lot of plans in the making for me personally and my brand and branding out and starting things that I should have been started a long time ago, similar to what you guys are doing, just for me personally. And so that way I can, carry myself and then go wherever the God decides to take me. So
Man.
Yeah. So as far as outside of social media, you mentioned like you don't know what's next, but like where would you want to be? Let's say, in the future, would you want to move up to service manager? Is that something that you aspire for?
it's not something that I aspire. If it happens, it happens. Um,
Do you enjoy
but
being an advisor?
I do, I do for definitely for now. My ultimate goal is to be able to live off of what I love doing, and that's content. Um, and who knows what that looks like, but and maybe like you know helping other people, like training new advisors, running a class, etc. That's all things in the back of my head. Like I don't want to do advising forever, but as far as the automotive industry and pouring back into of what I went through and what I know and what I think can help other people, that's where my heart is.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. Like, I mean, the first thing is obviously none of us really know what's going to happen next, and you kind of know where you want to grow, and that's like me, like being content with being a tech and just keep rolling with it, rolling with the
Mhm.
punches as an advisor, and just setting your sights on something bigger, like the
Right.
content and I mean, you're obviously super funny, so I mean, you got a skill that a lot of us. I know I can't be funny. I'm not a funny guy. At least like planned like that, but I
Appreciate
can't
it.
just be like, hey, I'm gonna be funny and then just send it. Like it ain't like
Yeah, I got you.
but no, dude, that's awesome, man. I'm glad you kind of, you know, got a direction that you want to go in, and that's important, I think, for not just the automotive industry, for people in general, is, you know, you never know what's coming next, but you like, this is a goal and I'm shooting for it.
Right. Exactly.
Taking a little bit back, when did you start? Like, you didn't give us like a month or a year. When did you start posting on social media? How long have you been consistently trying to build a platform on social media?
Man, you know, I'll let y'all know, you know where my name comes from? EliteVoice. EliteVoice comes from a gaming background. I was a streamer. I had my heart for wanting to become like, you know, like a game streamer, right? And I ain't gonna lie, I was cold at the game, man. I was cold at the game, bro. I'm telling you, I was nice whenever I
What
was
game?
on.
It's okay.
Whatever, if it was Call of Duty, Destiny 2, boy, I was making it happen, you know what I'm saying? So I was doing gaming content, and then I tried doing like just regular comedy skits, and it was like right. And then I did some gaming content, and I'm like, okay. And then I started doing gaming comedy skits, and that started to do like kind of well, right? I got sponsored by a like, you guys know G Fuel, so they have a competitor called Advanced GG. I got it sponsored by them. um I was getting close with Bungie because I was doing like a lot of Destiny 2 content. So a lot of like Bungie devs and stuff were like following me on Twitter and everything like that. Like, if you look at my Twitter, you'll see like it's I still have like a bio of gaming and things like that. So it was just, the grind for becoming a gaming creator is really, really tough. So
Yeah.
I had to put that to the side once these videos started to blow, once the automotive video started to blow up. And after that, I was like, I just kept with it. And it's been probably, I've been posting videos probably, let me see, we're in 25 now. I think I started in 22 or 23, I can't remember. So it's been a few years. Um and I'm like, yo, it hurt because gaming's always in my heart, but it is something that I was praying for, and this is how it happened. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna take it.
And bro, you getting a lot of traction. Only 22, 23. You moving up pretty quickly, bro. You already at like 80K on Instagram.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying, man. Yeah. I really am. I'm trying.
Have you been one thing that really helped me that kind of been introducing J2 here is the business side of things. I feel like Instagram can only take, I mean, it can work, absolutely, but I think there's a huge gap in what people understand is how much money you can make just using Instagram alone. If you're
Mhm.
not doing like training courses, coaching courses, if you're not pushing a product, if you're not, you know, meeting people and networking, there's like a huge gap between like, you know, just posting content and getting paid for that. I mean, if you get sponsorships, like that works out great. But then there's also a side of like, what are you doing in the business side of things? And I know you kind of briefly just touched on your direction. I would maybe encourage you to find, like you said, mentioned like advisor training courses, or, you know, like Russ Flips Whips, you know, he does like social media content, like, you know, training people or training dealerships, offering up like funny content. Like, how can you do automotive funny content, not just like to sell cars, but just to get like to make people laugh, because you're
Exactly.
fantastic at that. I mean, I have so many people in my dealership, like my service manager and service director follow you. You know, they're, when I did that skit with you, they're like, oh man, you went up and saw EliteVoice. And I was like, yeah, he just lives right around the like right up this, you know, a couple hours away. And so I think you reach so many more people that you have no idea that you probably do. So I would urge you to look into that business side of things and see how you can move over into it.
I
Bro,
agree.
you're killing me, bro. Bro, it's the way you're just like, You funny, bro.
Bro, I'm taking it in, bro. I'm listening. Like, he's right. Like, man,
I mean, I ain't making a killing doing my business stuff, but like the wheels are turning.
yeah, for sure. Like, he's right, and that's another thing that I've been thinking about for sure. And you're right. Like, I really don't know the extent of who I reach or who has seen me. Like, there's a few instances where somebody would see me in the store, like, or just the other day, like I was walking across the street and there was a guy in a truck, and he was a tech, and he was like, "Bro, I love your videos." So I ran like right back in the middle of the street to give him a fist bump. Like, I wholeheartedly appreciate everyone, and you know what I'm saying, and everybody who supports. But yeah, no, I it's still mind blowing to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's still mind boggling. And you're right. I don't know the extent of who I reach. And I think my biggest thing is taking that step. Like, I know that, like you said, the classes, like, I've been talking to my wife about that, and she wants me to, to try and do the Zoom and stuff like that. And I want to do something like this too. Um, but yeah, it's about just taking that step. That's just what it is.
It ain't gonna be pretty at first, bro. But
Yeah.
if you don't take that first step, it ain't gonna ever happen. So I hope that
Right.
you find what you want to do, and whether it's a podcast or the courses, and I hope that you take it, because I'll be there supporting you. If I can support you, I will. Like, I know how hard it is to like get those things going, and so I'll be there doing everything I can to push that, not just for yourself, but for the bigger picture for you.
Right. Right. I appreciate that.
Yeah, and I can't imagine how kind of like hard and difficult it is to all manage. Like, especially you yourself just said you had a family, and so if you could give like any like young viewer or anybody like kind of going into it, to what we're trying to do, like how do you kind of jungle all those things together with family, with social media, with work, with other side things that you have going on?
Yeah, man, that man be asking the greatest questions, boy. Um, so first and foremost, like, God is a big part of it, right? And I am hi Pop, you going to bed? Where you calling?
Speak of the devil,
I'm
he
on the
shall
phone.
appear.
Here, give me a hug. Where you calling? Come here, give me a hug. Hey, where you calling? Some friends. Some friends? Good. Good.
This is a
There's
highlight. I'm gonna remember this. 27:45.
um so yeah, like, God's a big part of it. Like, if you guys knew like how all this went and how I got hired where I'm at and how I got the house and everything, like, man, I'm telling you, if whoever out there who doesn't believe God is real, I'm telling you, my testimony from how I got here to Texas, how I got this house and all that, everything lined up perfectly. Like, it's like it was just handed to. It's crazy. I'm telling you. It's that. It's and just getting out there and doing it and just never giving up and staying consistent for whatever you want to do, whether it is being a tech or if you want to do content in social media. You have to have the drive. You have to want. You have to know, like, in your mind, and that's why I kept fighting and I kept praying. I'm like, look, I know there's more than life than this 9 to 5. I want to be an actor. I want to be this. I want to. Oh, ooh, press a button. I want to. This is where my heart is, and I just kept driving. You know what I'm saying? And I always, to whoever I talk to you guys. You guys are doing this. This is amazing. But even my coworkers, I'm like, I always ask people, like, what do you want to do in life? Like, what's your hobby? What's your goals? And what do you love to do? Right? Like, and can you turn it into something? And I always tell whoever, and I'll be here to support you if that's what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Because you can do it. Anybody can. And it's just about getting out of your own head. People be like, yeah, well, maybe you're right. Like, no, you really gotta jump out there and take that leap. And that goes for anybody. Like me, I'm just a normal human being, a young guy who has a big dream, a big goal. That's it. And I'm no different from any of you guys. I appreciate the love and the follows. We're all on the same playing field. Everybody, there's plenty of room at the table for everybody to eat. Come eat. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, I felt like that was like that was like very like deep down. I felt like it came from like a place of like, true, like it didn't feel fake at all. That felt just very true. Like it felt like you've been, preaching that for a while and talking about it for a while. So I really appreciate you sharing that with us. And I guess so what are some things you just mentioned, like go out and do it. When you come into some of the obstacles, you mentioned, how everything just lined up, getting to Dallas, getting to where you're at, getting the house and stuff like that is when those obstacles come up, what are some things you're doing and to keep focused on the bigger goal? Like when things get real tough and you feel like quitting and you feel like giving up. I know you mentioned God, but there's that's at the top of your list. And what are some things that you just keep in your mind, your family, as you move through these obstacles?
there you go. Like you said, one of them, my family. I look at my kids, I look at my wife, like, yo, my kids need me, you know, and I think about my parents too and my family because I've been through a lot. I've been through a lot growing up. Like, so that's another thing that plays into that because how I was brought up and you know what I went through. Um, I didn't come this far to lose, you know. So, and some days, you guys and everybody in this world, they may feel like you're an autopilot, and sometimes you gotta just click back over and be like, all right, man, I gotta get back to it. I got my family, I got my life, and it's about wanting more for yourself too. Like you look in the mirror and you're like, am I just gonna be stagnant? Because that's what it is. A lot of people right now are stagnant. And if you don't have like, okay, if you don't have like a family that you created, like kids or a wife to look after to get you that motivation, you got to find that motivation. Talk with somebody, talk to your peers, talk to some good friends, talk to, the worst case scenario, talk to a counselor if you're that low. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, you have to find the drive because nobody else is going to want it more than you. So, um, that's the best advice I can give because everybody's walk of life is different. So, and everybody has a different thing that gives them that spark. Everybody has something else that gives them that spark, whether it be music, whether it be listening to a podcast, whether it be whatever, looking at something like, man, I can do that. Everybody has a different thing that gets them like, all right, I need to get on my feet and I need to make something happen. I need to change. You know what I'm saying? So,
100%, 100%. Super well said. Because I mean, shoot, a lot of people, especially in the shop, people always ask me like, I mean, how do you stay motivated and stuff? How do you like as you have family? Most of the guys in my shop, we don't. We're all young. We're like 22, 21, 23, 24. Yeah,
oh
we're a
wow,
young group. We're like I'm 23. Like we're a very young group. And like so we're
okay,
all like, yeah, we're all like, how do we all stay focused? How do we stay motivated? And we just it's like kind of a drive for the game. We're enjoying it right now, but like there are days where we get low and stuff. But first and foremost, God, of course. Then my kind of goals and sight and my passion, I just kind of keep that at the front of my lobe and just trying to strive like the same way you were kind of saying it. But I also had a question, like this is really off topic. And this is
yeah.
kind of like different than what we were speaking about like a couple minutes ago. But like, which aspect of the job do you really think is like, which aspect is of the service department do you think is more important to the integrity of the service department? And you know where I'm gonna go with this.
Oh yeah, let's talk about it. He said the integrity, huh?
The integrity of the service department. Who is the backbone of the service department? Is it the technician or is it the advisor? And also in that same question, they neither can go out without each other. But like,
Hey, that boy said, forget parts.
oh, hey, Hey, I can just go online and order a part right now and receive the right part. Nah, I'm joking. Chill. Sorry, Garrett. Sorry, Tanya. If y'all watching, I'm sorry. Y'all got the wrong parts today, so I'm gonna.
We don't need them.
Hey, so to answer that, the backbone is a technician. The backbone is a technician. The front bone is the advisor.
Eating all the crap. Bam, bam, bam. Taking it all from the customer.
Right. And this is, so like me as an advisor, but I learned quick. Like, and even when I first started as an advisor, I became cool with all my technicians. My technicians are some of my best friends. Like, real stuff. The technicians that I grew up with, there's a technician that I still tagged from Subaru. That's my boy Eduardo Lalo. He is a master tech at the same Subaru where I started at. That's my dog. We went through a lot together. Like, but the biggest thing is there's some advisors out there that don't see it as a team effort. You know what I'm saying? They treat it as just a normal job. This is not a normal job because the stuff that we see and we go through is not normal, yo. It's not normal. And we're here at the job more than we're at home. So it's like you got to treat everything and everybody like family. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like technician for sure is the backbone. And that's why I do extra to take care of my techs. You feel me? If I need to pull the car in, you gonna hook me up. Hey, can you get this done real quick? Yes, I'll go run to the lot, pull it in, and then when it's done, I'll go take it to wash for you. Like it's really nothing. Hey, you need an extra hour? I got you. It's nothing. Like my technician today, a windshield guy broke apart, and my technician had to put it on and whatever. He was like, "Man, you mind if I get an hour for that?" Like, it's never gonna be a no with me. Like, bro, I will take care of you. It's not a problem. So
I think there's some techs that think that this is a normal job too. Like you know, like you got. I'm not gonna say that techs aren't half the problem when it comes to like effort. You just said you're taking care of your techs, and there's also that that tech that taking care of their advisor. Like you said, can you help me out? And that's one thing that is super underrated is like that good relationship that you have, because you probably see advisors that don't do that, and then you see techs that don't do that, and they don't have that same like connection that you and your technicians have, especially the ones that you're real cool with.
right, yeah. I mean, I've seen it where I've been left hanging by some technicians before. Through my career. Um, and whether it had been communication or whether it had been like they just didn't want to help me out, um, whether it had been like, hey, I'm gonna work on this job, and I'll get it done for you. Cool. I'll tell the customer in a day. They leave without even letting me know. Like, I've went through it all.
Oh yeah, for real. Dang, bro, what was I gonna say? I just forgot, man. I was gonna say something like funny, but like Curtis, take over. I was gonna say something.
Oh yeah, I'm just listening, dude. I love it. I mean, I love hearing about because I have, I try to go to my way to make a good relationship with my advisors, and then you have some advisors that are like, they think they're hot stuff, or they don't want to, they think they can do it on their own, and they want to be, like smarty pants up there on the service drive, and it's like I'll help you out. I don't mind helping you out because I know ultimately that's helping me. That's helping the customer out, which is helping me out. And it's always like you give what you get. And so I don't mind helping out. And I see that all the time online is like, oh, I never work for free. And I'm like, bro, I've made my living off of doing favors. I do favors and people get me back if it's immediately or if it's a month later. Like you said, you people text me like, oh, I'll get you that hour, and it's like that comes around. And you speak for it from an advisor point of view, and I speak from a tech point of view. Like it's a give and take. We're here to serve the customer, and then ultimately that serves us. And so it makes me like happy to hear it from your side. Is yeah, like we're all just trying to get that car done. Who cares about that. We'll get it taken care of. So I really
Exactly.
appreciate you speaking on that. I know some techs out there ain't gonna want to hear that, but they need to.
It's the reality, man. Y'all mind if I eat too?
Yeah,
I didn't. Hey, so, yeah, like just not yesterday, but last Friday, I had this client. His light strip went out. You got to do the whole assembly, and I'm like, man, he's a really good client. I was like, man, I'm a Goodwill this one, right? And it doesn't pay much whether it's CP or warranty or not. But I went to the dispatcher and I was like, you give them that. And I flipped it, another ticket. And I was like, there's a 9-hour service right behind that. So give them that too. So I went to my technician. He asked me, he was like, yo, what's up with this? And I was like, man, it's Goodwill. I was like, but that ticket that's behind that, look at that. And he was like, oh, that's 9 hours. I was like, exactly. Exactly.
See, I wish my dealer had a little bit more of that, bro, because that really don't be happening. Like, it really be like some like trash stuff in there, and then it's just kind of like, eh. And then even sometimes, like, I just gotta say this, like, what do you think on this? Getting labor times from a site other than your manufacturer designated site, bro. I promise you, there's not much that annoys me more than that. You're not about to go on MotoLogic or AllData and get me labor time when it's less than what warranty pays for my manufacturer. One time, like an advisor did that, and I was like, bro, that's crazy. Like, why did we just do that? But
First of all,
wait, the advisor did it behind your back?
Yeah, so I sent
heck no.
the time in. It was a Tundra. It was a 2018 Tundra alternator, 4 hours. He goes in there, and warranty time was 3.2. So we did like 3.2 times 1.5. That's like the norm for customer pay. That's what it will equal. So it was 4 hours. He goes in there, looks at MotoLogic, sees that it pays 1.5 on MotoLogic, and puts that in there. And I finished the job, and I'm like, 1.5. I'm looking at the RO like twice. Like I said, 1.5. Hold up. 1.5. Whoa. I printed off the RO, went to my service manager. I said, bro, what is this? Like, what is he doing? Like, what are we doing here? Yeah, it's just stuff like that.
No, dude. I'll speak as a tech while Gary finished that bite there, but
hey, Gary out there like,
he's like,
bruh,
heck no. He's like, heck no, hell no. But nah, that ain't fine for me either. I'll take that thing to the service manager. Like if someone that doesn't happen for me at Audi, but at Toyota, when I was at Toyota, dude, that would happen all the time where the advisor would go in and look at the all data or something and then drop the time and be like, oh, this is what it pays for all data. I'm like, well, that's not how we're supposed to quote it. And it's like, if you want to get it approved by the manager, like, sure, I guess I got to just go with it, but that's not what I'm quoting.
See, this is what I don't understand, bro. Oh my, okay.
I mean, like, you losing yourself money.
That's number one. So first of all, did the service manager take care of you on that alternator?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
So I hope that advisor got talked to, and if he's still working there, he need to get popped in the back of his head, because why are you doing that? First of all, why are you taking money from yourself? Why are you taking money from the technician? This is one thing I will never understand with those type of advisors. What are we here to do? Take care of the customer, but also you need to take care of yourself or your family if you got one. So that never makes sense to me. Why are you fighting? And if you're scared to talk to the client, or if you're scared to sell the job, then go work at freaking Tommy Hilfiger. Like, what are you doing? Like, bruh, it's not hard. Now, if you don't understand, and to a customer's logic, it's like alternators probably like 3 bolts. Like, no, if you explain to them the intel of the job and be like, yeah, it's really like it's really intensive. It's not just like this. You know, he has to move this bracket, he has to move the battery, he has to remove this such and such. That's why it's so much. Yeah, I apologize. And if anything, what I'll do before I first of all, I don't ever cut labor times. But I will, if you guys know about this, I'll drop the door rate so that way The technician's not losing. My ELR gets affected. I'll catch it on the back end. It's not a problem. But at the end of the day, you're helping the customer and you're helping the technician keep the job. It's not that hard to figure that out. Like, bruh, that's mad irritating.
Effective labor rate. We're gonna have to talk about that one day on the podcast, man. Like a lot of technicians need to learn about like the grand scheme of things and how numbers need to work and how the service department needs to flow to actually make it a good service department.
Right.
I think a lot of advisors are afraid to sell big jobs to customers because like you said, it's hard to have those conversations for some people. I mean, to be fair, I struggle sometimes sending quotes when I see the job and I'm like, I send a job and it's like $2,000 or whatever. And I'm like, I'm just going to send it. Sometimes I just don't even look at it because sometimes it makes it pulls on that where I'm just like, oh, like I got to send, a $10,000 quote to a customer. And it's like, yeah, I'd like those hours, but I also know that's $10,000. So it's like, I don't know. Sometimes that be getting I couldn't do it. I couldn't do your job. I couldn't do it because I would be hard for me to do.
It got to a point where it's like, okay, everybody in the world has a job, whether it's HVAC, whether it's plumbing, whatever it is, even, as far as dentist, hospital, when you get hit with those bills, ain't nobody holding back. Yeah, so what you're gonna need is you're gonna need a whole new toilet and this and that and some pipeline. 15,000. Like, well, what are you gonna do? You can go get a second opinion or whatever, but you just paid homeboy $200 to come out and diagnose, and you're gonna pay somebody else who might give you a little smaller quote or whatever. But regardless, like, it's life, right? And somebody's either gonna do it or not. It made that uneasy feeling, like I learned to take that away, and it's like, okay, at the end of the day, it's a job. I have to do my job, and that's just what it is. It's not like we're doing what we're supposed to. I would feel bad if we were scamming or doing wrong by the customer, but we're not doing that. We're just quoting a big or large job, which entails intensive labor, and 50 things need to be removed to get replaced to fix whatever's needed. It is simple as that. Like, and it's either going to be a yes or no. And then if I need to, I'll work out the pricing. I'll ask parts, hey, bring your markup down. And you know what I'm saying? And let's see what we can do.
Oh, and it's always parts complaining about, why I gotta bring my markup down? Why I gotta do this? Bro, you sitting down hitting this. I don't even want to hear it from you, bro. I don't even want to hear it.
I ain't gonna lie. I love my parts guys. Like, I really do. They do a lot for me. I love them. And when I ask for help, they give me the help I need.
Oh, yeah,
like it's it's really G.
I get along with my parts guys. They usually help out wherever that needs to be on whatever. I don't got I got a great. It's funny to hear you talk about bad parts department. As at Toyota, I had that, but now here at Audi, I got a great part department from the new guy to the manager, bro. I'm blessed.
I think it's just Audi. Audi just rolling around in crystal marbles and everything. I think Audi just like that.
Honestly, I think it's when you get to luxury, it changes a lot of things. Like, a lot of things that were just put into play, like a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? Like, structure. I got here, and like, of course, we have our problems and stuff like that, but there was a lot more structure than where I came from. I'm like, dang, this is what? Yeah, it's different.
Need it. Can't have without it, man. Can't be without it. Need the structure. Mm-hmm. And speaking about like the prices and stuff, we never want to race to the bottom. You don't want that, bro. And I swear, it's annoying when the automotive industry is like that. It's always a race to the lowest price and the least amount of value. Like, I'd be like, bro, you not only paying for like a good qualified technician, you're also paying for the service when you came in here. You're paying for the customer experience. You paying for the donuts in the lounge area. You paying for the table that you reading your book on. You paying for this. You're paying for so many components, and you're paying like a bunch of people, a bunch of people were part of your car getting fixed. A lot of the apartments were part of your car getting fixed. So you have to pay for that stuff too. And it's really, you got to think about it like, what's the value I got out of this? And I also always say this, like, I'll be like, let's say, like Curtis just said, something like $10,000. I ain't even gonna lie, the way I look at it, a $10,000 repair, like, how much money did your car help you make this year? They'd be like, 100,000. I'll be like, so what's 10 grand right now? You want to go make another 100,000 next year? I mean, it's not happening every day. It's not happening every month. It's one time that you did need to fix your car. You need to find that transportation. It's okay. Your car is going to generate you more wealth and the ability to make more wealth. Like, that's just the way, I'll be like,
I wish more people saw it that way. Like what you just said is like, it's an investment.
Yeah,
exactly. That's exactly what it is. It's an investment. And
not everybody going to see it like that. They're going to try and get Backyardy and Joe across the street trying to they alternator and then blow up the alternator fuse, and then it come to me and then they wonder why they got to pay me like 5 hours to do all this. I'm like, bro, you paying me because I'm annoyed now.
Transmission, you probably the transmission flushes, Gary. I know you be seeing those transmission. They take it to Jiffy Lube and they drain the transmission, and it comes in, and you got to do like three hours worth of refilling and calibrating the mechatronics back in. It's like
we see a lot of safe light windshields. And why is this warning on? Well, because they either broke the camera, they didn't calibrate them correctly. Now your insurance got to pay us double.
Yep.
Yeah, the cheaper isn't always better, like you said, and I guess this kind of leads into something else. Is right now it's a little bit going through the whole independent versus dealership thing. I think nothing against independence. That's not what this is about. It's more of just saying I think the dealership needs to reevaluate some of its core values and figure out where it can bring a better experience to customers.
You can say it again, bro. That's what I was getting ready to say. And I don't know if it's going to be for another, for another time or wherever. That's part of the problem. And put it this way. Like he said, we'll stick with the job. I'm standing up for this one. For $10,000, right? You're paying for the experience, what my boy said, right? Whether it be 200 an hour, 200 plus an hour, 300, whatever it is. Whoever sees this world, dealerships, if your dealership is not having the value of the price that the customer is paying, you need to, the whole corporation and establishment needs to look in the mirror. What are you doing? And I know one thing, when dealerships start cutting costs and taking away from things that benefited the customer or like made the customer want to go there, I'll leave it at that. I ain't gonna go too crazy, but the big corporations know what I'm talking about. They know exactly what I'm talking about.
Those are the same ones that you mentioned, lowering the door rate down for the customer. Those are the same ones that'll tell the technicians to lower the labor hours before they'll do their hour rate.
Yeah.
Because I think like you hit it right on the head. Is why should and we all hear it every day. Why should the technicians suffer when the company is making millions and millions off of that technician? It's like those 2 hours mean so much more to the technician and their family than it means to that service department and that dealership. And it's kind of getting crazy. It's like, what are y'all doing? Why are we nickel and diamond technicians? That's why y'all don't have any technicians. That's why you can't keep technicians, is you over here worried about
greed.
Costs.
It's greed, brother. It's greed. But I'm telling you, I can really
It's a slippery slope for all of us.
Oh, for sure. I can dig into some things, but hey, they know what it is. They know what it is for sure.
Well, they're gonna find out. I think it's we're coming up on something. I feel like we're coming up on like a big turning point, I think, in the industry, where it's like we talk about technician shortages and keep talking, and then everyone acts like it's some mystery, but it's just gonna be soon technicians are going to be getting paid closer to what doctors make, and it's just a matter of time. Like,
For real?
I think, I think doctors. Okay, this is. I mean, you can attest to this, Jay. Doctors save lives, right? There's no doubt about it. But how long has a human body been a human body? A lot longer than we've been around. How long? Every year, cars are changing, and I'm not saying we're saving lives with cars, but what I'm saying is the technology and the information and the amount of learning that technicians need to do every year and stay up to date with. I think we deserve to be reevaluated in the sense of how important really is our job to the industry. I mean, people drive cars every day. You drive, like you said, you just said, how much money did your car help you make? Okay. What if you take that car away? What if you take the technician away that fixed that car? You don't have a car to get to work.
Exactly.
It's like, you can, I mean, I'm not saying technicians are doctors, but I think the technicians we need to be up here. We need to stop be thinking, hey, oh, techs down here, let's just pay them as little as possible. It's like, no, let's value us that those technicians help you get to work. Those technicians help you go to the doctor. Those technicians help you take your kids to school. It's like, let's bring that thought process up to where it belongs.
Right.
No.
I
Flip that, bro.
I
Flip
agree.
that.
I definitely agree. And it's like we've became, I don't want to say like a laughing stock, but kind of like almost like a joke. And I don't mean we as in like technicians, but like the automotive world, you know what I'm saying? So as a whole. So yeah, I think it all needs to be looked at and reevaluated for sure.
What y'all think on unions? Unionizing like automotive industry. Y'all think about that? Or just straight commission? What do you think?
But well, it's crazy you say that. At my last job before I got here, the dealer next to us was a union dealer, Toyota. Boy, the technicians went on strike for I don't know how many months. I'm dead, bro. You can ask people. You can ask them. They was outside, and mind you, they're right next to us. So like, there technicians out there with signs in their chairs, and until they got like, you know, I think it was about saying, of course, pay. There was a few technicians working, but they was on strike, bro. It was wild. It was so I don't know my full opinion because I don't know much how union job works for technicians.
You want to hear it? I think unions are for your average technician. I think it benefits the low performers and the mid-level performers, but it stunts the growth of your high performers because you're stuck to a pay structure no matter your performance, no matter your certification. You're only getting a raise when they say you're getting a raise, and they're going to stick to that. They're going to give you your 50-cent raise every year. But 50 cents a year ain't it. You need to be going in that office for $2 at least every year because the way times are changing and everything like that is everything costs more. 50 cents a year ain't going to do it. And I ain't going to work at a place for 20 years getting 50 cents for 20 years to get a $10 raise over a 20-year period. That just ain't it. Sorry. Like some people are cool with that. They're like, yeah, I get a raise every year. And I'm like, what is it? 50 cents? Like that ain't cool. No. And I think union's great for techs who are okay with that, but I would never be okay with that because I know that what I bring to the table as a high performing tech is worth a lot more than 50 cents a year. So like I hear these union guys like, yeah, let's go unionize. I'm like, you guys don't really know what you're signing up for. Like you think it's going to be great, but I promise you could make more if you just stood up for yourself.
Very true.
But hey, Gary, do you have any questions for us? I mean, do you have anything that you wanted to, ask either Jay or I or talk about that we haven't really touched on?
You guys had a wide spread of good topics and questions.
It could be anything. I mean, we just had Adrian on last week. I know he said y'all are real tight. So
that's my dog.
He hit us with some good questions right at the end, and we ended up talking for 30 more minutes. So I just wanted to see if you had anything that you were thinking of that you really wanted us to touch on before we, kind of, go towards the sunset over here.
Okay, I'll just throw this out there, like as technicians, right? As technicians, and I think a lot of the technicians, a lot of them, they have like similar voice. But what for you guys? Do you guys hold? And I don't know like how your shop is or whatever. Do you guys hold the low performing techs accountable?
Yeah, you go. You're a group leader, Jay. Why don't you take it?
Oh, 100%, man. You see that right there? Right there.
Okay.
Yeah. They gonna be held accountable. They
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
like 100%. Like I'm not for that. Like I'll tell you straight up, if you're doing trash, like we got this one loop tech. He struggles to show up on time, struggles to stay there. Like struggles like overall. Like one day he was just talking, and I was like, I ain't gonna lie, Philip, you probably one of the sorriest texts we got. And like I told him plain like that, you probably one of the sorriest texts we got, bro. It's like we're all young and we all like we talk to each other like that, like plain, like direct. But like I had to tell him, I'm like, Philip, you not as good as you think. You really sorry. But then he was like, so what do I need to improve in that way? And then I started peeking. I didn't speak that way no more. I was like, hey man, you need to be more on time because management can't rely on you. I can't even rely on you to be here at a certain time. I can't even rely on you to give you this car and you not mess anything up. Like you're really unreliable right now. But when you show up, you're a great worker. Like I love the way you work when you show up. The problem is you don't show up 80% of the time. So I try to keep everybody accountable. I try to keep myself accountable. I know I have things I can work on 100% as well as does everybody else. Now, we do have like, there's 3 team leads in our shop, but one of them obviously is like the main guy, which is my fellow master technician. He kind of holds everybody accountable as well, even me. So like, I try my best to hold people accountable because that's the same way we did it. We do it in the Marine Corps. So
Nice.
Curtis.
There definitely needs to be more accountability. I think in the industry altogether, not just technicians. I mean, I try to hold people accountable in like a more like joking way. I'm not in a leadership role. I just didn't choose to be, at least with the title. And I think that sometimes if I make too many jokes or I say something that's maybe too accountable, people take that in the negative way where they think I'm, out to get them or I'm saying something bad about them. And so I just kind of laid off of it because it was being taken the wrong way. And so, but I think from top to bottom, there needs to be way more accountability. And I think the shortage problem is because of a lack of accountability. I think there's problems. People make mistakes. People do things. People need to have hard conversations, and everyone just wants to make it someone else's problem. Right. And so I think flat rate is a perfect example. Everyone wants to say, "Oh, let's use flat rate," but you're literally scaring technicians to work harder instead of having difficult conversations when they're not performing right. Because you're using pay as a fear tactic. Instead, you could have a conversation that say, "All right, Jay, we noticed over the last month your hours were below your objective. What's going on? How can we help you? What's going on?" Because I guarantee you 75% of the time, it's nothing to do with work. It's probably something at home. And, sometimes that manager can be a leader or a mentor to that technician. And they're just worried that, I have to have this hard conversation with Jay instead of how can I help Jay be a better person than he was yesterday?
Right.
And that all, for me, stems from accountability. So that's kind of my take on it. It needs to be more. What about you, sir?
Me,
Mr. Gary, Mr. Elite Voice himself.
How do I hold who accountable?
Just in general. I mean, let's just say this, like
as an advisor too.
Yeah, like other advisors.
Definitely, especially if one is like same thing, showing up late or not doing certain things with paperwork. We seen them getting into the manager's office and we all do it together. Like, that's crazy. Like, you guys say that, like, we see one behind or one not doing it, like we'll all put aside and we all talk to that whoever it is, like in our own way. Like, bro, what are you doing? Why are you this? Like, you need to get it together. Like, we don't want to see you go because they not playing. Like put it together for real. Like, you can do it. But yeah.
Yeah, you got anything? You want to?
I believe, no, I don't think I have anything. I think I'm all out. I mean,
Yeah. But when
every
I'll just
question.
remind you when we end here, stick around for a little bit because I need the computer will need to download each of our recordings so that I can upload it properly.
For sure.
So, Jay, you want to take us out and then I'll end it.
All right. Thank you, everyone, ladies and gentlemen, for watching. This has been another episode of WOTPod with obviously the three of us, three-headed goat for each one of us. Thank you very much, Gary, for getting on here. We are very thankful to have you on our presence. Thank you, of course, Curtis, and I'm Jay, and see you next time.
Appreciate it. Much love.